This is Gary McKee, and he ran a marathon a day for a whole year. That is a total of 9,563 miles, which would be like Gary running a round trip from Los Angeles to Miami, not once, but twice. He started his marathon last year on January 1st, 2022. Every day he woke up at 5 a.m. to run to his work, which started at 2 p.m. Talk about unrealistic New Year's resolutions. Well, unrealistic for the average man, but not Gary. In 2017, he ran 100 marathons in 100 days, and later made the jump to 110 marathons in 110 days in 2021, all of which sounding like Mr. Beast challenges. However, 1 year later, Gary must have gotten sick of making the small jumps when he decided to run 365 marathons in 365 days. Even with his previous experience, this would be Gary's biggest challenge yet. Even professional marathon runners only run a maximum of 2 marathons per year because of the risk of injury that comes with ultra distance running. Excessive mileage can result in injuries to our joints, tendons, and muscles. So that meant injury was basically imminent for Gary, but he accepted his fate and started the challenge anyway. But why? What motivated Gary to put his health on the line and run a marathon every day for a whole year? Was it glory? Fame? Nope. His primary motivation was cancer. Let me elaborate. He was motivated by the prospect of helping others with cancer because his father was a cancer survivor. His goal for the 365 marathons was to raise £1 million.
I'm hoping to raise £1 million. I've always explained to people that £50 buys a food blender for somebody with throat cancer.
It didn't matter what the weather was like or how Gary felt. Gary ran a marathon every day no matter what. And on some days, Gary had to run multiple marathons in the span of 16 hours.
There was occasions during the summer where we were short in the office and I was going to work and then running when I got home. What that meant was, on occasions, I was running 2 marathons in 16 hours.
Surprisingly, for most of the challenge, Gary felt fine. For the first 200 days, the only pain Gary felt was a little muscle soreness. But like I said, injury was basically inevitable. Around the 200-day mark, Gary got hamstring tendinitis. Hamstring tendinitis causes a dull aching pain, and when exerted can cause a sharp, more intense pain in the hamstrings. According to the NIH, if you get hamstring tendinitis, you should pause or reduce sports activity. But Gary was on a mission to help cancer patients. Every day, Gary went through a 26-mile battle. He had to continue for over 5 months. The way he got through it was by telling himself that the suffering he went through was nothing compared to the suffering that cancer patients face. And after the longest 5 months of his life, he finally ran his 365th marathon with no breaks, which also led to Gary raising the £1 million too. During the challenge, Gary ran for a total time of approximately 57 full days and went through 22 pairs of shoes. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love the next video on the screen right now about Michael Capral, a man who can juggle and jog marathons at the same time. But anyways, bye people.